to the ITSM Practice Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the ITSM Practice Podcast. I'm Luigi Ferri. Today, let's dive into a transformative change happening across global financial services. ISO 222. You might have heard about it through compliance memos or frantic project updates. But if that November 2025 deadline hasn't caught your attention yet, it will soon, because ISO 222 is a complete overhaul of how we handle payment data. So let's explore what it means, why it matters, and how institutions can adapt without losing their cool. Let's start. Take a moment. It's November 2025, when the coexistence period for cross-border payments effectively ends. If your systems still are not ready for ISO 222, you could face higher operational costs, constantly juggling multiple messaging standards, regulatory penalties, since the timelines vary widely across regions, missed opportunities for data-driven insights that could sharpen your competitive edge. It's more than a paperwork exercise. Failure to meet this transition head-on can derail both operational efficiency and growth. So, what makes ISO 222 worth the hype? In simplest terms, it transforms payment instructions into rich, structured data. Traditional empty messages can hold only so much details, usually 35 character fields that barely scratch the surface. With ISO 222, you can embed around 200 elements in a single message. That includes detailed remittance data, regulatory identifiers, precise payments purpose codes. In practice, this means less manual intervention, reducing false positives by up to 40%, and the ability to embed the entire supply chain or invoice info within the same transaction. Take a breath here and consider. What could you do if your payment data was this transparent, this comprehensive? Now, before we paint too rosy a picture, let's talk reality. Banks often report spending anywhere from 12 million to 18 million just on middleware updates. Tier 1 global institutions spend even more, running into the hundreds of millions. Key challenges include data model overhauls, going from short empty fields to XML-based structured codes for brand new validation rules, expanded databases, and staff training. Latency concerns. ISO 222 messages can be 5 to 7 times larger, occasionally causing noticeable processing slowdowns. Coexistence costs. During the migration period, you might need to run 2 parallel pipelines. One large bank saw 40% higher cloud compute fees just to handle dual formats. And don't forget the regulatory patchwork. Deadlines differ from March 2025 in the US to November 2025 in Europe and April 2026 in India. If you are global, you might be juggling as many as 7 distinct message formats at once, a recipe for confusion and potential fines. So, how do you approach this massive shift without chaos? Leading institutions rely on a 3-phase plan. Message translation. Insert translation layers to convert empty messages into ISO 222 and back again. is not perfect, the data richness is limited, but it buys time. Native processing. Rebuild payment engines for ISO 222 so you are not just translating, but actually generating and validating the new messages end-to-end. Data utilization. Here is where the payoff happens, applying analytics, AI, and machine learning to the data you have worked so hard to structure. We are talking real-time cash flow optimization and supply chain finance tools that can open up entirely new revenue streams. Each phase demands its own mindset shift. Translation alone won't unlock the deeper benefits, but if you skip to advanced analytics too soon, you could miss critical lessons in stability and data governance. Let's be clear. Slipping past the 2025 deadline could mean serious operational headaches. If you can handle ISO 222 messages, you might have to reroute payments through a correspondent bank or pay penalty fees on every transaction. Some solutions institutions are trying. Fallback protocols, gateways that automatically convert ISO 222 to empty formats for older systems, keeping you running but with limited data value. Cloud validation. Offloading message checks to cloud functions can cut on-prem costs by 35%. Above all, keep your eye on liquidity management. These enhanced data fields enable more precise intraday forecasts, freeing up capital that might otherwise sit idle. With roughly 6 months left until November 2025, there is a little time to hesitate. Actions, steps might include cataloging your entire pipeline of MT-dependent processes, coordinating with vendors for seamless ISO 222 support, using collaboration platforms like MyStandards to manage region-specific message profiles. Those who see ISO 222 as just another compliance headache could be caught unprepared. But those who seize the moment to reimagine their data architecture might unlock new products, revenue opportunities, and serious competitive edge in a data-driven future. We have covered the challenges, the fears, and crucially the rewards behind ISO 222. If you are leading financial services transformation, ask yourself, are we simply meeting a deadline or building for the long term? Could the same data that help us comply also fuel new analytics, new services, and maybe even new business models? Thank you for tuning into the ITSM practice. I hope this episode helps you see ISO 222 not just as a hurdle, but as a doorway to fresh possibilities. If you found value here, please share it with your colleagues. Let's keep the conversation going. And until next time, arrivederci.